Media.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special Can't Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Chibruggi, and joining me is Derek Relaford. How you doing, Derek?
How you doing? Good, man. How you doing?
Getting ready to bat and dashes for a thunderstorm.
Yeah, your connection's a little off tonight. You can tell you're about to get
Yeah,
a nice little storm.
yeah, I'm getting ready to. The winds have been crazy all day, so
Wow.
it's April. It's that time of year, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Tonight we're doing just a kind of a special. Today is the 2-year anniversary of Detreck Foster missing from Independence, Kansas, and today there's been a big media push on Detreck to get his case out there and generate information and tips on it, and I wanted to do a special show to help further that along tonight. And so this is basically just going to be a special episode just for Detreck Foster to try to help get some information out there.
and Christopher Unruh is joining us.
Yeah, and I see Cindy and Trotnet and Crystal Walden. Hey, Crystal. But we'll have our regular show on Saturday like we normally do. This is just a special one tonight. So it's not going to be, a long one or anything. So
Hey, Janie.
I just felt like we needed to do this tonight.
Okay. Well, so we got Junction City in the house. Andrea Lynn's here. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna sort of cover Dietrich's flyer like we normally would. And
Mm-hmm.
then Alicia Perez here, and then
Hello.
Ricky's going to kind of go into what happened today as far as with what is being released now by the
Yeah.
authorities. A lot of talk recently about Detreck, and if you were following the flyers, there was a lot of commotion on Detreck's flyers over the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we just ask the viewers and the people that share our flyers.
Right.
Um, if you're going to make a claim in the comments, please have immediate receipts for the claims you make. Like if
Right.
you make sure you have something to back up what you're saying. You
Right.
never know what family member is going to get their hopes up. You don't know what family member is going to be upset.
Mm-hmm.
So you always be
Right.
mindful of only try to speak fact and truth when you're in the comments. But yeah, we're going to basically just cover that real quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell us about. Oh, go ahead.
I say that's in reference to some comments we had on the new Detreck Foster post that I put up last night. We had somebody trying to say they'd seen a post stating that Detreck had been located deceased, and I hadn't heard or been informed of anything like that. And I asked for a link, and he couldn't find the link, but was sure he saw it, but he never could provide a link. So
And to me, like, and nothing against this commenter. I feel like they were just trying to help.
yeah.
But that's just not a look you want to have. You don't want to go online and say, "Hey, this person, everybody's been like, it's been
Mm-hmm.
an unsolved mystery for 2 years. I know
Right.
exactly what happened to them, and they're dead, and they found their
Right.
body." It's like we've had that with Alexander Perez's case. We had somebody say that his body is in such and such place because they found two bodies there, and we
Right.
did research, and we can't find any recollection of two bodies being found in Garden City,
Yeah.
where they said to look. So if
Yeah.
you're gonna say things that you've heard and stuff, please have documents to
Right.
back up what you're saying.
Yeah. And one of Dietrich's family members did actually chime in on those comments and said no, he hadn't been. So, and I did talk to Independence PD last night as well, and they confirmed that he has not been. So we know he hasn't been yet.
Right. Well, tell us
But
about Detreck.
okay. I'm going to do a little bit differently. I'm going to start off with the flyer that I made. Then I'm going to switch over to the KBI release that was released yesterday. Of course, Detreck Foster is missing from Independence, Kansas since April 12th of 2020. He's 37 when he went missing. He would now be 39. He's 5'9", 190 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. And let me switch over to the KBI release here. And it's Title: Independence man remains missing after 2 years. The KBI and the Independence Police Department are again seeking information from the public to assist in their efforts to find the person or persons responsible for the disappearance and suspected murder of Detreck Foster, who went missing 2 years ago today, actually. Detreck, he was reported missing on May 12th. He was last seen around April 12th of 2020. In Independence, KBI agents and detectives from the Independence Police Department suspect foul play in Foster's disappearance and believe someone knows information that will help resolve the case. Investigators will continue exploring all tips and leads in the case. Dietrich is described as being a black male, 5'9", weighing approximately 190 pounds. He had black hair and brown eyes. Dietrich was a father, a brother, and a son, and his family is desperate to know what happened to him. Anyone with information related to this case is asked to call the KBI at 1-800-KS-CRIME. That's 1-800-572-7463. Or you can call the Independence Police Department at 620-332-1700. Tips can also be submitted anonymously at www.kbi.ks.gov/SAR. Individuals with information leading to the apprehension of the person or persons responsible for Detreck Foster's disappearance or murder are eligible for a $5,000 governor's reward. So, make sure that we're sharing this video, share the flyers. As I mentioned, I did post an updated one, and there is a new photo that was also released, and it's on your screen right now, the one on the left where he's in the white shirt and tie. And that's the new photo that was just released yesterday. So hopefully, in addition to the big media push that's going on right now, hopefully we can help by doing what we're doing tonight and further that effort to try to help get some answers. I had a conversation last night with one of Detreck's family members, and they were telling me that his kids are really wanting to know what's going on with their dad and where he's at. And the older of the two is especially having a hard time. So hopefully we can get those questions answered for his family.
And that's 1-800-KS-CRIME. What did that end up being with the numbers? Because you said you wanted to call that out.
Yeah, 1-800-572-7463. And I'm going to address a couple of comments here. Cindy is saying why they say suspected death. Only thing I can assume is apparently they must have gotten some kind of information or tip that's leading him in that direction. Honestly, I don't know. They just say they suspect foul play. So, and then Crystal Ball is saying because until he's found, they can't be certain. Well, no, they can't be certain. That's why they suspect. But until they can actually, get those pieces put together, and that's where, getting people that know what's going on. And I know there's people out there that know. So it's just getting them to do the right thing and call that information in. That's what they need to do the right thing. There's 5,000 reasons to, if nothing else,
Right.
And it is just so sad.
It's just
And
crazy that somebody can...
I see Mickey Easom's up here saying my poor Cindy Easom's sister-in-law. Yeah, we've covered Cindy a couple of times, and we will cover her again. And Marlene is saying, thanks for all you do from Smith Center, Kansas. And I see Cindy was tagging a few people there, Margaret Bradshaw, Mickey Easom, Melinda Ewan. So thank you for tagging people. And Crystal saying prayers to their family. My heart breaks. Yeah, it's been a troubling case. Like so I had a conversation with his family members last night, and it's just they're really frustrated and hurt, and they want answers. And like I said, hopefully doing what we're doing will help further that along. And I'll get you those numbers again. Again, KBI is 1-800-KS-CRIME or 1-800-572-7463. Independence Police is 620-332-1700. Or if you want to do it anonymously online, go to www.kbi.ks.gov/SAR. And again, information leading to the apprehension of the person or persons responsible are eligible for a $5,000 governor's reward. So let's see if we can help help find out what happened to Foster and get him brought home.
Do you know if there's any conspiracies as far as does the has the family heard any stories that they can't prove or anything like that, or like kind of what we were talking about earlier, people just saying wild things?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I think somebody mentioned one in comments on one of our other shows when we covered them one other time, but I can't remember what they were now. But
Because you never know, like if there's like if they have nothing on this, because they say that they're
yeah,
suspicious of homicide. You
hmm
wonder what made lead them, what piece of information led them to that conclusion.
right. And Jessica Frank says she grew up with Dietrich and his twin sister. She says just maddening that there's still no resolve. The people that know need to please come forward and bring him home to his family. They need closure. I 100% agreed. They do. They need it. They deserve it. They want it. And as I mentioned, his kids are having an especially hard time wanting to know what happened to their dad. So I mean, let's
Right.
let's help them find out.
Yeah, it's just terrible, man. I mean, and the sad reality is $5,000. It's not a ton of money. You wish we
No,
had like a ton of money to throw at this, in the state of Kansas. But the sad reality is like Dietrich's kind of lucky there's a reward on here.
yeah,
You know how many
yeah,
cases we
because
cover that there is no reward? There is
right,
no, they're not really getting a whole lot of footing in the case that it might be 30 years old. So this $5,000 governor's reward is 100% proof that this state is taking this very seriously and
yeah,
they want some answers.
yeah, because like you were saying, not every case gets that kind of a reward. Very few,
Yeah,
if any, do. I mean, if you go on KBI's website, they have a few on there, not a whole lot, but a few.
right.
So, but hopefully we can help, by doing what we're doing here tonight, and that's what we want to do. And I just felt like I said they needed to do one for Foster since it is the 2 year anniversary, and since there is a big media push going on. And I did notice in doing some research today that KOAM out of Joplin, Missouri, they were one of the news agencies that had ran a story, and they chose to actually use Kansas Missing and Unsolved Flyer, which that's I'm honored that they did that. I mean, they used KBI's as well, but they also used ours, and that's to me that's great. I like seeing that.
Hey, Shayna,
But,
or Shanna, however you say that.
yeah, from Wichita.
Jeannie says, hoping, praying for a positive outcome. Alicia brings up a good point. She
Yeah,
says, "Is there any way to increase rewards for missing people or homicides? I just often wonder what is enough to get people to turn others in."
right. That's a good question. I don't know. That'd be something to actually research and dig into and see.
Right. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to do. And the thing is I can see it from both angles. I can see looking at somebody who knows information about a potential homicide not saying anything, and there's a part of my brain that's angry at them for not,
Hmm.
spilling the beans. But there's a part of me that also understands that they're a human being, and I don't know how I would handle it if I knew something terrible, especially about somebody that I thought was a friend.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things like if you're a parent, like, nobody wants bad things to happen, but like if your kid shows up and like I broke the law, like are you the parent that says like, well, we got to call the police and get the best outcome? Or are you like, get in the car, we're getting out? You know what I'm saying? It's like you have
Right.
people, it's you kind of like a lot of these times when people know these bad things and they know that somebody might have done something really bad, they may know that person, and one might be
Right.
scared of them, but two might be afraid of like derailing their life. But they have to remember at all times that
Mhm.
Dietrich's life was massively derailed in 2020. He hasn't been
I can
seen.
honestly tell you from my own experience that for my family it would be, come on, we're going to the police department. I
Right.
can tell
Yeah,
you
and
honestly.
I kind of figured you for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get how somebody might not turn in somebody they care about even though they want to, but at the end of the day, like you're putting whoever is responsible if something bad to happen to deer, you're putting their best, whoever, their well-being, their freedom, you're putting all of that ahead of
Yeah.
somebody who we haven't seen in 2 years. Like at the end of the day, the only person in this equation that matters at the end of the day is Detreck, because he is not here to voice his opinion on whatever would happen. So
Right.
you have to always remember there is a victim in this situation. This person, Detreck, has not been seen by his family, his children in 2 years. It's not something that's just going to quietly go away. Police are going to keep asking about this forever.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So again, anybody, if you have any information at all, you know, again, it's the 1-800-572-7463 or the Independence Police Department number. Yeah, again, is as soon as I find it, 620-332-1700. Or you can go to kbi.ks.gov/SAR, and you can leave a tip there anonymously as well. You don't even have to reveal who you are. You know.
Jordan Foster says governor's reward has a statute of limitation that caps the reward at 5K. I didn't know that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you. And thank you for being here, Jordan. I know you told me last night you were going to be here, and I'm glad you're here.
That was really awesome.
Yeah.
Well, my thoughts and prayers go out to Detreck, the people that love him,
Yeah.
the people that relied on him. There's a humongous void there in their life that they want answers to, and it sounds like KBI is pretty interested in those answers as well.
Yeah. And like I was saying earlier, we are going to do our regular show on Saturday. I just wanted to do this one tonight, and I saw a comment up there from Connie Judd saying more on Kenny Rychek, and um, I know that. Oh my goodness, Dennis from Muddy Waters Search and Recovery is supposed to be in town at some point to do a search, so I'm waiting on that. So hopefully that'll be here soon. So he's supposed to let me know when he's coming so we can hook up and I can show him around and stuff. So
Jordan says that the statute thing has been around since the 80s, and they haven't increased it. Esther Unruh saying, hi, how you doing, Esther?
Yeah,
Shanna says somebody knows something for sure.
Agreed. 100% agree with that.
And then Cindy has a good idea. There's always the idea of crowdsourcing for rewards, but at the end of the day, I think a lot of the times with the people who know the information, I don't think they're necessarily looking for a cash reward. I think in a lot of those situations, they're looking for a pardon on maybe some aspect of it that they're responsible for that wasn't as serious as somebody dying. But you know how Kansas laws are. Like, if you're with somebody that's buying drugs and somebody gets shot, everybody there gets charged with murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if somebody saw something terrible happen, and I'm not talking about Detreck's case, but I'm just randomly thinking there are maybe certain people out there that are like, look, I was there. I did not want that to happen. But they know that if they mention it, they're going to go to prison for the rest of their life because they're going to get tried for murder. So there's a lot of reasons why people don't talk. I think at the end of the day, we have to kind of cut our losses and be like, look, we are willing. And the police do it all the time. They give people leniency for giving up information and stuff. So I just think it's a real tricky situation when you have something like something that bad terribly happened, and there's a lot of people that are, one, scared of retaliation of talking about it, and two, maybe they're somehow mixed in with it and they're afraid of repercussions of what their involvement was. Maybe it had nothing to do with what the terrible thing that happened, but maybe they were involved in some way.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. But
Jared says, I wonder if something like that would be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. And Connie's saying sometimes you say anything, you might get hurt too. That's true. And that's why they set up anonymous lines to where you can, call or go on a website and anonymously put a tip in so nobody has to know it was you.
Right. Yeah. There's a ton of options. I mean, and shout out to anybody that's ever been brave enough to go talk to the authorities about something.
Right.
I had to turn somebody in one time, and it was a pretty scary situation. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. You have to protect people.
Yeah. Yep.
Daddy, do you hear that?
She must be talking about thunder.
No, it was hail.
Oh, you're getting beat down on with hail.
Oh
We
yeah.
better get out of here,
At
man.
first, I thought it was the dog messing around, and then I was like, no, that's hail. Holy crap! But yeah, but no, I just wanted to do this tonight for Detreck and his family, and see if we can help generate some information and get some, get them some closure and find out what happened to Detreck and get him brought home. So, and I pray like crazy that it works.
Right.
I pray that for every case we do, but like tonight's 2-year anniversary, and with the media push going on, I wanted to try to help that out. So hopefully we did. Hopefully we did. But anyway, until Saturday night, I want to thank everybody for joining in tonight and being here. It's, like I said, kind of a short show. We'll be back with our regular show Saturday, so we will talk to you Saturday night. Till then, stay safe. God bless. And if you're dealing with what I'm dealing with, stay out of the hail. Have a good night.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicidal crisis or emotional distress, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.